Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another edition of TEW, our 2003 mod with the WWE, or the evolution will be televised. As always, thanks for taking the time out to watch the episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. And of course, any comments on this series, wrestling in general, how do you find SummerSlam? And of course, as we're on the road to, I believe, Hell in a Cell is the September pay-per-view. What's your predictions for that? And what is your predictions for the Evolution pay-per-view? Of course, coming up in October. Any feeling of what you think the main event will be? Let us know. And that is, of course, if it hasn't been announced already. So, we're at the Frank Irwin Centre, 16,452 in our save here. 2 weeks out from Judgment Day, and we start the show with the returning Kevin Nash and his buddy Shawn Michaels, just obviously talking about previous years, how they were good friends, etc. And how Nash was finally cleared and he felt it was a good time to come back and save his buddy from the attack of 3-minute warning. Rico's obviously pushing them. But of course it is setting up a match for right after this. It is Kevin Nash versus Jamal. So a decent B79 gets the show off to a strong start. Good opportunity for 3-minute warning as well to be in the ring with such major stars. And the don't call it a quad back storyline. Sorry, I had to. Begins. I'm sure Kevin Nash would laugh at it as well. He admits it. So next up, decent match. Kevin Nash defeats Jamal in 10:15 with a jackknife powerbomb. A B-73. I think that's pretty decent. No properly hype behind it, bar that first segment. Not a lot of selling in the match, which is understandable. You're going to get that in this mod with the likes of Nash and Hogan. But overall, got the crowd hotter, an 80 performance for Nash, a 51 for Jamal, and as much as we want to put 3-minute warning over instantly, it's not going to happen. So, a few negatives there. Nash's stamina, declining physical ability, but we'll probably get him out as soon as his contract expires. This week, another hype video for Dr. Nick Dinsmore. So the insane doctor, will be arriving soon, in F+16 for him. Just currently getting them over with vignettes on Heat. We then had a Divas match. Of course, it's 2003, so I have to refer them back as that. Terrible matchup. Saw Jazz defeat Jacqueline in 5:52 with the Jazz Stinger. A D+49. Jazz off her game, but she's someone we're going to be pushing heavily. And she gets the win over Jacqueline in the storytelling match of the day. Eric Bischoff then decides tonight our main event is going to be something class. It's going to be a 3-on-2 handicap match. We're going to see Bill Goldberg team up with Steve Austin for the first time ever as they take on Ric Flair, Batista and Triple H of Evolution. That was a B+86. Randy Orton is in singles action, but I won't provide that match just yet. We then had a decent match which saw Goldust defeat Chief Morley in 7:32 with a curtain call. Match really to get Goldust a bit more momentum, get him back on track. And the C+67 is okay. Chief Morley with a better performance, but no negatives apart from Goldust's poor momentum, which of course we're looking to get back. This took us into another bikini contest again, ensuring we can get our quota of attractive females on the show. Trish and Stacey fulfill that. Trish wins the bikini contest in a C+67 segment, hosted by Jonathan Coachman. And next up it leaves Victoria coming out, attacking Trish Stratus, but it's Molly Holly who comes to the aid of Trish Stratus, C+68, despite it saying it's not a strong suit. We are going to turn her babyface. We'll probably need to change our gimmick from a censorship gimmick, but yeah, just balances the heel-face divide on the Raw women's side. Then we had a decent matchup that saw Lance Storm defeat Diamond Dallas Page in 11:23 following a distraction from William Regal, a B80. First matchup that really, as I say, will be the decline of DDP because of the issues with his gimmick and various others. He's declining physical ability, so he's just going to lose for a year, and the first person to take advantage of that is Lance Storm, a very good 78 performance, and great chemistry was shown in the performance between both guys, but look at the negatives for DDP. So we'll job him out as much as we can, give him a good payday, and then he might go and make some yoga program that might turn out to be absolutely phenomenal and save lots of wrestlers' lives. So if we can certainly help Diamond Dallas Page in the way to doing that, then that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Horrible patter from me, but it is what it is. Hype video for Sean O'Haire, the Advocate. Sean O'Haire, or Devil's Advocate I should say, D-40 for him. He'll be debuting soon as well. And then the IC match, Intercontinental Championship in the line, about with great wrestling and a decent reaction from our crowd, as Rhino defeated Randy Orton in 14:24 by pinfall, with a goer following interference by Christopher Nowinski. Rhino makes the 4th title defence of the IC title, so B81, a good opportunity for Randy. Rhino the better performer, the experienced performer, but it took a Christopher Nowinski botched interference to cost Randy that championship. So overall, I think that's okay. No storyline attached to it, does its job, and that'll lead to something in next week's episode. Then, as Rhino heads backstage, he's attacked by Mark Henry. Of course, the confrontation they've had previously, and Mark Henry goes, "That's what I do," and he attacks him. Over the course of time, we'll get him to grow his dreads out so we can give him a new picture. But could we be looking at a future IC champion? Stay tuned for that one. Then move on, Austin hyping the main event. He says he's going to win tonight, he's going to kick Triple H's ass. He's the toughest SOB in the WWF and he's going to win the title. Simple Stone Cold promo. Pretty much going to go with Austin against Triple H at Judgment Day. May as well use him while we've still got him before he's declining physical ability, just means we'll have to retire him. Then have Pyrotechnics, brilliant entrance, hyping up Goldberg for this big match feel. You know, got Austin and Goldberg teaming up for the first time ever, possibly the only time ever. That's the B+86. It probably won't be the only time, given the amount of times I do tag matches. It won't be. Then we see The Rock arriving backstage. Nobody was expecting The Rock. The announcers weren't expecting The Rock. And, you know, here he is. The Rock's just kind of appeared. Look what business he wants here. And it leads to our main event. But they had fantastic heat and great wrestling. Evolution, Triple H, Batista and Ric Flair defeat Austin and Goldberg in 14:31 when Triple H defeated Goldberg with a pedigree following a distraction from The Rock. It was always going to happen. The Rock was going to screw with Goldberg, type up, I said, probably the rematch with them at Judgment Day. But B+84, happy with that. Great performances from Triple H and Austin. Batista and Ric Flair decent, Goldberg as well. You carry on 2 storylines, and Batista was off his game. Negatives, so many competitors, stamina, and Austin and Flair's declining physical ability. Overall, promising show, B+85, and we increase our popularity around the world in 20 different regions. So we'll cut back to the main screen to see if anything's happened in between Raw and SmackDown. Doesn't look like it. Big Dave's on the rise. And I know Big Dave. Should I know Big Dave? I don't think I know Big Dave. So let's have a look. Drug test, 8,000 and a 24.44 TV rating. And thankfully, no Scott Steiner and no test to fail drug policies. So that is it for Raw. It's time to hand it over to SmackDown. Now welcome to SmackDown. We were at the XL Centre in front of 15,635 fans. We start the show off with Team Angle in the ring, and they're having an argument with 3 of the opponents for Kurt Angle at Judgment Day. Of course, the World Heavyweight Champion, the WWE Champion, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and Hulk Hogan, which of course brings out Stephanie McMahon. It's a bit of back and forth, but it lays out our main event match for tonight, which we'll see Brock Lesnar and Undertaker team up in action to take on Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Team Angle in our main event. So, a good segment to start the show in A90. It's going to definitely benefit Benjamin and Haas going forward. Continues on a couple of storylines, and yeah, a bit of a mixed bag there, but Charlie Haas improves a little bit, so that's good to see. Opening contest was a terrible match that saw Jamie Noble defeat Funaki in 6:16 with a pay dirt, a D47. Funaki off his game, just a simple win, gaining Jamie Noble some momentum and also taking the place of our storytelling match of the evening. We move into some 6-man tags. Some of the Cruiserweight stars decide to team up to take on the FBI, in which a poor match took place for the FBI to win, with Johnny Stamboli, Nunzio and Chuck Palumbo defeating the team of Crash Holly, Tajiri and Billy Kidman in 7:40 when Chuck Palumbo defeated Crash Holly. With the Italian drop, a C-54, not too bad, it's in the middle there in terms of ratings. Everyone's quite close to each other, but the heels prevail, gaining a good little bit of momentum in this case. We then have another hype video for the return of APA, coming very soon, a C63. This angle also got the crowd hotter. Next up we had About the Had Great Wrestling and good heat, as Chris Benoit defeated Matt Hardy in 9:56 by pinfall. Good bit of momentum gained for Benoit in a B78 match. No A-Train and no Big Show to distract him this time, so a good win for him. Next up, Vince McMahon comes out and he introduces the newest signee, so he's overruled Stephanie, quite similar to real life, to confirm that Sable is signed to a SmackDown contract. So B80, a bit more depth to the women's division on SmackDown. We had a good match that saw Los Guerreros defeat the A-Train and the Big Show in 10 minutes and 18 when Eddie Guerrero defeated the A-Train by pinfall, so it keeps Big Show looking strong. A good win for the Los Guerreros team, who've maybe had a few ups and downs recently, but the B78 rating and A-Train just can't buy a win, and his contract is up for negotiations, so he may stay, he may go, but not looking good at the moment. Scotty 2 Hotty and Rikishi cut a promo backstage. They're of course back. They'll be in action next. That's a C64. I'm wondering if we are going to lose Pop for the attractive females things. We have only used Sable, but we did technically use Stephanie, so we'll be down to how the mod judges that. But the match that Scotty 2 Hotty and Rikishi were in, they win. They defeat John Cena's lackeys, B Squared and the Big Boss Man, in 8:12 when Rikishi defeated B Squared with a Banzai drop. C63 is gaining them some momentum, and another defeat for Bossman, who wasn't happy. You know, he complained with a note saying he needs some wins, but he's at that stage in his career he's got to be putting people over, I'm afraid. Team Huddle backstage as Team Angle try and get a plan for tonight, and that is a B78. Charlie Haas underwhelming, but he's got to learn skills somewhere or another. And we had Kurt Angle in tag action. About the Had superb wrestling and great heat. Saw the team of John Cena and Kurt Angle defeat Rey Mysterio and Edge in 14:42 when Kurt Angle defeated Rey Mysterio with a roll-up. So a bit of a tainted win, shall we say, with a roll-up victory. But a B77, the storyline gains a bit. 4 good performances there. I think if you extend that match to maybe 20 minutes and make it slow build, you're probably looking at a good B+. But regardless, a nice co-main event, which leads us into Hulk Hogan down at ringside for our main event, a B78, and to end the show, a B79, about with great wrestling and good heat. The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar defeat Team Angle, Haas and Benjamin, in 12:55 when Lesnar defeated Charlie Haas by pinfall with an F5. So Haas was a weak link, Lesnar with a 92, Taker with a 95, 56 for Haas, 72 for Shelton. But you've got to think, putting them in these kind of predicaments can certainly help them develop. We end the show. Damn, it doesn't, I don't believe that. So something like B-76, it doesn't believe Stephanie counts as an attractive woman. Okay, fair enough. So we all every week need to use Sable, Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson. That's cool. I'd have thought we'd get away with Sable and we'd get away with Stephanie, but apparently not. That's on me. Learning again. So we lose popularity. Free region's not the worst in the world. But yeah, a little thing to keep in mind as we go on. So a silly mistake, but I'd still say a positive show. So we quick look here. Goto is on a British Isles in Europe excursion. All Japan are looking to sign Tenru. And yeah, the show was still enjoyable. Funaki needs some wins apparently. Undertaker doesn't like B squared. Lesnar doesn't like Nunzio, so they're quite happy to job out the cruiserweight division. But still, a good position we're in. As I say, we just keep progressing. That's a wee stumbling block in the way, but a long way off the 71s. I'd probably say maybe like another month or so, and then we'll go international. But quite happy where we're at. It's just about booking these storylines. And yeah, I think we're in a good position getting into Judgment Day. Hopefully, we have a decent card lined up. We've got 3 or 4 matches pretty much set in stone, and hopefully next week we'll confirm then. So cheers for watching, much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, and stay tuned for more TEW and of course Football Manager content in the future. Bye bye.